All right, good morning, Sacramento. Good morning, world. We are here live, 2014 California Pro-Am here at beautiful Belacqua Lakes in Rio Linda, California. My name is Tad Schreiber, sitting alongside Mr. Marcus Brown. Morning, Marcus.
Morning, Tad. Hey, thanks, man, for having me. This is fun. This is a great event. This is the top 8 women in the world in slalom for this day in September 2014. So we're excited to see what these ladies can do, and we got world record holders, world champions, and I'm stoked to get to talk about it.
Well, I'll tell you what, we are here. This is a professional water ski event right here in the greater Sacramento area. We're being broadcast on Access Sacramento, as well as all over the world via webcast at webcast-tv.com. So we're going to be seeing some of the best water skiers, slalom skiers in the world on the women's side, on the men's side. As you can see, we're getting things kicked off. We're going to drop some knowledge on some people, educate some people on what we're seeing on the water. But right now, on the water, I believe this is young Miss
Regina.
Well, this is well. What better way to start off than the world record holder?
Exactly.
The women's world record holder in slalom water skiing, Regina Jaquess from Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. She's out there. She's our #1 seed coming into these head-to-head finals. She's going to take on our #8 seed, young Canadian Miss Geneva Roach. Head-to-head finals, Marcus, kind of the easiest description is if you've ever seen the NCAA tournament, basketball tournament, same kind of deal. We've got a bracket system set up. We got #1 Regina versus #8 Geneva. Whoever wins moves on to the next round. A little more rules. First skier goes out, second skier goes out. The second skier must beat that first skier's score. And to top it off, a little bit more strategy involved. First skier gets that option, Marcus, to choose either to go first or second, or which boat they ski behind, which is a little different at this event because we have 2 different manufacturers of boats here. We have Mastercraft and Nautique.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving parts, but what's great is that you have currently, right off the bat, you have the top skier in the world right now who's been the top skier for maybe the last couple of years, Tad. Regina's been absolutely killing it. Any event she goes to, she pretty much wins, hands down. And you have her against this young up-and-comer from Canada, Geneva Roach. And this is what's great about head-to-head is it doesn't matter how good you do per se, it matters how good you do against that person in that matchup.
That's right, and here is young Miss Geneva Roach, a rookie on the pro scene, if you will. She's been on the junior international scene for a while, as we see her making her way through the course. And yeah, she, got to be pretty fun for her to go up against the best in the world. But Marcus, we just watched Geneva run that pass. So let's kind of get into some of the nuts and bolts here of what we're seeing on the water. We've got a 6-buoy course out there. That boat stays straight down, a straight path down the lake in between what we call boat guides. The object is to get around each buoy, 6 turns, and you enter in through an entrance gates and then exit through a set of exit gates. Is that pretty relatively simple way to describe it?
That's pretty simple. I would equate it to the sport of high jump, because a lot of people can understand high jump or pole vault, right? You have a height of the bar, and in water skiing and slalom skiing, imagine going through all 6 buoys successfully as clearing a bar height. So if you get to do that, you get to raise the bar effectively like you do in high jump. Or in our sport, you get to shorten the rope. As the rope gets shorter, it gets harder and harder to get outside of each successive buoy. And so what you see is as the skiers go on in each successive pass, they get a little sloppier and it gets a little harder to get around the buoy. So you see Regina here, this is another warm-up pass essentially for her.
Yeah, I believe this should be 32 off for her. I'll confirm that with our officials, and we'll get into our line links here in a second, what 32 off, 35 off, etc. means. But you watch Regina, and again, not a better way to start off this broadcast than having the best in the world out there, and she's giving a clinic right now running that pass. But getting back to our line links, Marcus, just to kind of delve into that so everybody knows what we're talking about. That line technically starts off at 75 feet.
Yes, so you have to do a little bit of math. If we start talking in 32, 35, 38 off terminology, you have to do some subtracting. There's also the metric system.
That's right.
We're talking in terms of that too, if you wanted to.
And we can get more confusing.
Yeah, we could. So, sorry, 75 feet, and that right there was 32 off, so the rope ends up being 43 feet long. The actual rope that the skier gets to hang on to, counting the handle from the pylon out, is 43 feet. And the distance from center line to the buoy is 37.5 feet.
All right, so Geneva's coming out right now in just a moment. She's going to be 32 feet off, so 43 feet of line is what she has to work with. And as we saw in our prelims yesterday, and as I am most definitely sure we'll see today, these skiers, women and men, are going to get into line lengths where the rope is actually going to be shorter than that buoy width.
Yep.
So they're literally going to be stretching their bodies to get around. But you see young Miss Geneva Roach, you know, she might be a rookie, but she's looking pretty good out there right now as she gets herself, that's a round 3 ball over to 4. Geneva coming into 5, and you know, very talented young skier, I think, out of the Calgary area, I believe, skiing at Predator Bay, which we've been up to a few times in the past couple years. Yeah, we had the
World Championships there. We've had the Mastercraft Pro Shootout a couple of years there. You know what I love? As we watch Geneva here on the replay, I love the rookies. Can we have rookies every event, new rookies every event? You know why I love the rookies, Tad? Because you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
I know within a couple buoys probably what Regina's going to do. I know what Whitney McClintock's going to do. I can tell you what Karen Trulove's going to do. But you never know. These are wild cards, and that's what's exciting. It's like a fresh shot in the arm, and you see her right here at 32 off, rounding 5 ball, no problems at all. And that's, if you never watched slalom skiing, you're going to be able to tell right away when somebody's in trouble or when they're cruising.
Of course.
And as the rope gets shorter, we're going to see more and more girls having trouble as the rope gets to 40 feet, 37 feet, you know, nice and short, shorter than the actual distance out to the buoy. That's when things get tough.
All right, well, we see Regina. She's coming in now 35 feet off the line, so she's got 40 feet to work with on this one. We got Regina, of course, from Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. That's the Panhandle versus Geneva from Canada. As we see Regina coming through a round 2 ball, big spray, Marcus, and we can get into the technical aspects of this if we want to a little bit later, but basically, you know, she's swinging back and forth. She wants to keep her speed, keep the width, and keep the ski moving, and that's going to equal 6 good turns.
Totally. And if you look at, I don't know why I just thought of it, but if you look at swimming, Michael Phelps, the Olympics, everybody tends to love swimming when the Olympics are on. I don't know what makes a good swimmer. I know they get from here to there, and whoever gets from here to there the quickest wins. And that's exactly what you have here. You don't have to know everything that it takes to get around the buoys. All you have to do is get around the buoys and get out the exit gates.
Yeah, that's it. And in this format, it's very simple to understand. Whoever rounds the most buoys wins, moves on.
Exactly.
It's that easy. So Regina got 6 there. If Geneva wants to keep it up, she must round all 6 right here.
That being said, there's a lot that goes into a gold medal in the 100-meter freestyle. Yes. There's a lot of technique and a lot of training and a lot of strategy and rhythm and timing and power that goes into running 6 buoys at any rope length. So I don't want to downplay it. You got to understand there's an appreciation value here that it's hard to see at first. The more you watch, the more you get it.
All right, well, here comes young Miss Geneva Roach through into the course, and she is around number 1. Great turn around 1, and you can see, as Marcus said, when they get into trouble, you'll know it, and she's not really in much trouble right now at all. She's standing tall around 4, over to buoy 5, and Marcus, she's around 6, and you know, she might be going up against a world record holder, but she's not showing any nerves out there on the water.
No, for a rookie, she's actually cool, calm, collected, more than I would expect. And you see here in the replay, one thing I will mention, I don't want to get very technical, but a lot of people have ridden a snowboard or skateboard, okay? Now, when you watch slalom skiing, the one thing that's different about it is we have a rope to hang on to. So every once in a while, you'll see the skier right here at the end of the turn, see the tip come up just a little bit, and it happens again here at 4 ball. Watch the tip come up right there, and she gets a little slack. That's not going to hurt her at this line length, but as the rope gets shorter and the rope stops being able to reach out to the buoy, that's when those little mistakes start becoming blown out of proportion. And that's when things start hitting the fan.
Going back to your high jump or pole vaulting analogy, you know, the higher that bar gets, the more the minor mistakes come into play.
Yep.
Same thing here as you shorten up the rope. Now, Marcus, this is 38 feet off the line, so that means that handle is just
half a foot short.
Yeah, just inside that buoy line. So literally, physically, Regina is now stretching her body to get around the buoy. So her hand, the handle is inside of the buoy line, and she doesn't have any problem with it. But
no, she makes that look. Let's not downplay. She makes that look easier than any other woman that I've seen so far in this competition. That's usually a really tough pass for women, and she just made that look like it was another warm-up pass, Tad.
Well, I mean, the progression that our sport has taken over the years, you know, 10 years ago, folks, you know, if this is your first time watching, 10 years ago, that pass to be run by a woman in a professional event was
big deal,
unheard of, or maybe once or twice. and we've got multiple women doing it now. So the level that these athletes are at, women and men, it just kind of blows your mind away.
I think it's a testament to a lot of things, technology, I don't know, technique, but you see also these young up-and-coming skiers like Geneva pushing from behind, and that pushes these veterans like Regina and Whitney to be better also, and it all interplays to make these scores and performances year in and year out completely, rise every year.
You're absolutely correct. All right. Well, here we go. Young Miss Geneva Roach. This is 38 off for her, and we will see how far down the lake can she match Regina's score. Solid one right there for Geneva.
Uh-oh.
And there you have it. She had a solid one. We'll see if we can't get the replay up, but unable to keep the ski moving around too. And Marcus, you pointed out in the past before where the tip kind of rose up, a little pop a wheelie a little bit. We'll see in this replay right here.
You'll see it one a little bit right there, and she gets some slack, and then she pulled long, so you're really going to see the tip come up, and she can't recover.
You see how far down course her ski was after that two-ball turn. When I say down course, she's further down the lake than you want. With the boat holding a constant speed, you've got to keep a rhythm, and keep a faster speed than the boat. Because you're going back and forth, whereas the boat's staying straight.
It's similar. I don't know if any folks out there watched any of the Olympics, like GS, Super G, any of the Alpine racing. It's very similar to that in that those skiers, Ted Ligety, Julia Mancuso, they're trying to stay on a certain line, a certain rhythm. And if they get too low coming into a gate and they go beyond the gate way too far before they make their turn, they start getting later. And that's exactly what happens in slalom skiing. The only difference is instead of gravity pulling you down the hill, you have the boat pulling you down the lake.
Yeah.
And it becomes very difficult as you get later and later to make up time to be able to get your ski around that next buoy. And that's all it is. We don't care about any other body part. All you have to do is get your feet and your ski outside of that buoy and make a turn and hang on to it.
All right, well, we're going to keep it moving. We've got our next bracket coming in. So Regina, of course, moving on. She's going to be our first entrant into the Final Four. And our next bracket here will be our number 2 seed, Whitney McClintock, versus number 7, Kate Adrianson. Whitney's is the higher seed, so she had one of 2 options to go. It looks like
that's Kate.
That's Kate on the water. So Kate's going to go out first. So Whitney now must beat whatever score Kate puts up. Whitney, of course, a former world champion. She is the number 2 seed here, and Kate, number 7 seed. Kate's been on the scene for a few years now, skied collegiately as well, and one of those. Could this be a Cinderella? Could it be a surprise? I don't know. Kate has it in her to put up a big score.
You would say that about a 3 eventer because you are a 3 eventer. Kate is one of the top slalom, trick, and jump, what we call overall skiers in the world. She's good at all of it, whether she's got two skis on her feet or one. But it's interesting to see how she's hanging with some of the best slalom skiers in the world, because you don't characterize her as a slalom specialist. She's a 3 eventer. She does all 3. So it's cool to see her out here, but she's up against some pretty tough competition.
Yeah.
And Whitney McClintock, Whitney from Canada, she's been world champion. She's
one or maybe 2 times already.
A couple times, I think, yeah. And not just in slalom. She herself is an overall skier, but Whitney has asserted herself as one of the top slalom skiers in the world.
That's correct. So we saw Kate right there. That's call it an opening pass. It's kind of a warm up. They kind of get stretched out and feel things out, and 28 off the line. And here comes Whitney right now. You see on your screen coming in at 28, of course. Just like we just saw with Regina and Geneva, whoever skis the longest, whoever rounds the most buoys wins. So here's Whitney kind of opening up, warming up for the day. Now these girls skied 2 rounds of preliminary yesterday to figure out the seedings and to figure out who got into our 8-woman head-to-head finals. And we ended up Whitney number 2, Kate number 7. So, Marcus, some people talk and they say, oh, well, why do you got to go feel out a lake? Everything should feel the same. Well, that's really not the case. No, it is just water, but every lake feels a little different. You got 2 different kind of boats out here as well. It's always nice to have that warm up under your belt.
Yeah, I agree. Have you ever been to, I don't know, a restaurant and you go to get a fountain drink, and what's your favorite fountain drink? What do you like? Mountain Dew? You like Coke? You like Sprite?
Sure.
Okay, well, all of them. all of them. So sometimes you go and you get your drink and you sip on it and you're like, wow, this tastes totally different. What happened? Well, that's exactly what happens when we go to a different lake. The lake, from lake to lake, it feels completely different sometimes. Some days it feels almost unskiable. And so these women have the chance with their first couple passes. I know sometimes it can get boring, but not only do you get to see their characteristic style, but they get to actually warm up and get a feel for the lake before they have to really give her at the shorter rope lengths.
All right, well, we are coming in with Kate Adrianson, pass number 2 right now. This is 32 off the line. So she's got 43 feet of rope to work with, so a couple extra feet outside of the buoy line. And beautiful number 1. Now, folks, if you've never seen slalom skiing at this level, you know, you definitely can take notes. Always, you know, if you're able to, consult a professional as well. It's always great to get out on the water, whether you're doing it in a scene like this where there's a course, or whether you're just getting out on the big lake and just trying to rip some turns.
Free ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's fun. This is a fun sport. When you step back and think about it, which we at this level rarely do, we're on top of water. Didn't Jesus do that? Like, that's amazing. How does that happen? Well, you take some horsepower, take some dinosaurs you got to burn, but at the end of the day, you get to hang on to a rope and you get to stand and move around on top of water. That's pretty special, pretty rad.
Yeah, very cool. You know, and we're here watching the slalom event, and you know, you've related it to, you know, GS and other snow skiing events.
Jesus too, walking on water.
we can go that direction.
I don't make the comparison, but I kind of did, because we kind of do walk on water. It's pretty rad.
Well, you know, I say we watch Whitney walk on water right here.
Yep, I agree.
All right, the boat's coming around the end, and you know, we got 2 different manufacturers here. Big thanks, you know, to the manufacturers bringing their boats in between Nautique and Mastercraft. We have some Team Nautique skiers out here, some Team Mastercraft. That might play a role in the decision that they make as far as which boat they want to go behind. As we watch Whitney McClintock, just very easy, very smooth. You know, these athletes, not only, you know, are they just physically in top shape, but there's a big mental aspect to this as well.
Yeah, huge mental aspect. And you know what? It's different for everybody, for different people. But some people, it takes them a lot of stress and strain and challenges to overcome to get to that mental place where they can perform. And other people, like you're going to see later on, Nate Smith, current world record holder, world champion, it's almost like he doesn't even care. It's like he cares so little about it that he just can go out and do whatever he wants anytime he wants.
It is.
So you see all walks of life when it comes to this elite level of athlete.
And I'll tell you what, in this day and age with social media, I'm sitting here with the legend Marcus Brown. You folks out there watching on the webcast, watching on Access Sacramento, if you have a question, if you want to know something, if you want to give a shout out, if you like Marcus's hat, let me know on Twitter, at Waterski Pro-Am, at Waterski Pro-Am. I'll read your tweets out live. I've got some coming in already. John Cameron, loving Marcus Brown with the sickest dreads ever, a true water ski ambassador. So a big shout out to Marcus.
These things are a lot of work,
right there.
by the way. They're a lot of work. I work hard for this, for you guys. Only for you guys.
We got Mark Austin, a water skier, watching us from South Africa right now.
South Africa.
Giving a shout out to Regina Jaquess, his favorite skier. So hit us up on Twitter. This is 35 off right now for Kate Adrianson.
She's a little behind. You see that 3 ball? She's kind of got it back and forth, but that tip still keeps coming up. But for her, 35 off, she can make those mistakes and get back in it.
Yeah, you know, for guys like me who aren't at this pro level, a mistake like that might mean I'm in the drink. But, you know, just like you're talking about NFL players, NBA players, you know, or Olympic athletes, they can make these little mistakes at kind of an easier line length for the skiers and get away with it. But she'll have to clean it up if she wants to take down the next pass.
Yeah, she will. And the funny thing, Tad, is great skiers, number one, can reset at the end of the lake and get their mind off of what they just did and maybe some of the mistakes they made and get reset back to the right mental state to be able to perform. But also, more than anything, I think not just great skiers, but great athletes are the athletes who can move beyond in the moment. They can make a mistake and they're already back in the moment. They're already executing and doing what they know they can do to get back in the game.
All right, well, Marcus, we're going to be lucky enough. We're going to be having interviews here all day long. Right now, we are going to go to Access Sacramento's Rick Stewart with an athlete interview.
Awesome.
Here's to you, Rick.
All right, thanks, Ted. I'm here with Kevin Bishop of the Masters Men Division. Kevin, how'd you do in that tournament?
I finished fourth, which is pretty good. I think that's I've done that twice ever. That's my best finish. I've done it 2 times before.
You know, we were talking off camera, and you know, this is what you do, even though you do have a day job still where you are.
Yeah, especially the Masters guys. We all have day jobs. Nobody makes a living doing this, but we're really passionate about it. I don't think we train much less than the pros. You know, we're working all day and then skiing at night, doing the best we can, having a lot of fun.
Now, can some of the gentlemen here in the Masters Men make a living at it and stay out of a day job where they don't have to work in a grocery store or wherever?
It'd be a pretty thin living. You know, some of these guys actually used to be pros, and they're getting a little older now, and it's more appropriate. They compete in the Masters division, and we like them in there. It makes it a lot of fun, raises the level of the event. But no, you're gonna, you get some help with your skis, and but you're not gonna pay all your mortgage with doing what we do. We do it because we love it.
What's the Masters division age-wise from?
It's over 35, so all of us over 35 ski at 34 miles an hour, and it's the best guys over 35.
Okay. All right. And how long do you expect to be doing this?
I'm going to do it as long as I can. You know, you can compete. There's a guy that put on the whole event, Greg Bedell. He was top seeds, one of the best skiers here, you know, and he's in his early 50s, and he'll go for many more years, you know. And Chris Lapointe, 61, I'm 41, so I'd like to think 20 more years.
Okay. Lapointe sounds familiar. When I was growing up, there was a gentleman that skied in my high school class that was very good, and I'm not sure exactly where he was, but I know he's very good. It brings me to another question. When you're skiing here...
All right, thank you very much, Rick. Always good to hear from you. And while Rick was out there, we just saw Kate Adrianson get herself 2.5 buoys at 38 off. Here's the replay right here, Marcus. Take us through. That's 2 ball, I believe.
That's 2 ball. It's hard to see, but she got another slack tail turn, and she's already behind at 3. Had to make a huge turn, and Kate's one of those true grit women, one of the few on the tour. You see her hang on to that and almost get to the next buoy, but just wasn't going to be today.
All right. Well, she went down 2.5 38. Whitney McClintock going to be coming back at 38 here in just a second. Again, when we say 38 off, that handle just a half a foot inside the buoy line. So Kate was, you know, literally we watched her throw her body around just to get a little bit around 3 ball. And
let's be clear, though, I'm not a geometry major, but half a foot if the skier is 90 degrees on the boat, which never is the case, because that's impossible. So it's really more like 2 feet short, maybe, plus or minus. And for a short girl like Kate, it makes it really difficult. And when you have somebody like Whitney, who's another foot taller, maybe in reach, it's a different pass for her almost.
All right. Well, here's Whitney coming in right now to the course, 38 off. Solid turn out of 1, coming into 2. Whitney looking good out of 2. She just needs to get around 3 ball and back to the wakes, and she moves on, and she does, and she's not done. She wants to get a little bit more of a warm-up in this morning as Whitney takes down 38 off, and that was as good as anything I've seen today so far. Whitney McClintock moving on, and she has the option to go ahead and try the next line length, which is 39 off. We'll wait for our officials to find out about this.
What would you do, Ted?
I'd do it.
You'd do it?
I'd do it. Why not?
You just take your chance, right?
Yeah.
You just you'd get your money's worth.
You know, because I'll tell you this is, I have a good feeling that if in either her next bracket or the final bracket, it may come down to it.
Yep.
Why not get a little practice set?
Little taste.
You can? Yeah.
I agree. I agree completely. It would be the smart choice.
Yeah, they will be doing a lot of skiing today.
Yep.
Personally, I mean,
Yep.
if you move on all the way to our super final, that's your 3rd set within, I'd say, maybe a 2-hour or so time frame.
A lot of skiing.
That's a lot of skiing. And for those of you out there who have skied before, whether it's in a sense like this or whether it's just out on the big lake, skiing will take a little bit out of you. It works some muscles that you might not know you have.
Little ones that you didn't ever know you had. It's only like 5 or 6 minutes, but it works you over.
All right, well, I believe we're moving on. We'll see. I didn't get the word. That does not look like Whitney to me. So we should be moving on to our next bracket, which is our number 3 seed, Karen Trulove, versus number 6, Karina Nolan. Karen has been on the scene, you know, has been a dominant force on the scene for over a decade. Karina as well for just around 10 years. Karina, of course, hailing from Australia, so we've got some more international flavor from Australia now, residing in Canada with her husband, and Karen from North Carolina as well.
Really, truly is an international competition. I don't know if people realize how broad the scope and the reach is of this sport that we love. Pretty big deal. We got people from Australia, from Canada, from Europe.
Yeah, we got Czech
Italy,
Republic, we got
Czech Republic.
Italy, UK. We got right here in California on the men's side with a guy you might know, Terry Winter. He's a relatively local guy. Plus some of our other guys who skied yesterday in the prelims, Brian Dietrich and Tyler Yeager.
Local guys.
Yeah,
Yep.
local guys.
Yep.
So, I mean, you guys out in Sacramento, you've got literally the world's best slalom skiers here this weekend in your town.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Get down here if you can, Belle Aqua Lakes, Rio Linda, and check out the action for yourself.
All right, well, here we go. Karina Nolan is now on the water. Karina, former world record holder, had a bit of an injury a couple years ago, had to take some time off the water rehab. I think it was an Achilles injury, which we all know can be a tough one.
Yep.
But has come back this year as her first full year of competing, and has skied pretty strong this year. So I'm expecting to see big things from Karina, coming back off of about a year and a half absence or so.
Super debilitating injury, the Achilles injury. She did it doing CrossFit. She'd just gotten into CrossFit pretty heavily. And long story short, just one day,
Yeah.
kind of tight, didn't think about it. Next thing you know, she's out for like a year,
Yeah.
like 8 months to a year. So to see her back on the water, to see her stronger than I've ever seen her because of CrossFit, it's kind of cool. Kind of cool to see. I've been living the CrossFit-ish lifestyle for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
For one reason or another, and to see somebody in our sport at the elite level give it a go in the CrossFit world. She went to regionals this year, which is a big deal in the CrossFit community for the Canada West region.
Of course.
And did pretty well. So to see her back here competing, pretty special. She used to be a world record holder not so long ago, 4 or 5 years ago, and now she's skiing against one of the veterans here. You see Karen Trulove coming back around the island at 32 off, and this is going to be a good battle.
Yeah,
One we've seen before.
This is definitely a good first round matchup. Karen, of course, has probably just about every title under her belt. She's one of the more decorated women's slalom skiers, and as I said, been on the scene, and been a dominant force for over a decade, and still, still always hitting the podiums and always a threat to get on top of the podium. She's.
Did you talk about her 2 trophies in the title?
What's that?
She's got 2 trophies as well. 2 babies. She got 2
that's
kids.
right,
She's
that's
a
right.
mom 2 times over.
Dash and Rich. And she's a new mom with her newest young boy who's 5 months old, and she's back out here on the water. Number
Crazy.
3 seed in the finals. A testament to
How do
her
they
dedication.
do that? How do women do that? I eat too much and I feel like I can't move for a week. And they have a 9-pound baby in there and they ski the next week.
I'll tell you what, my wife gave birth to our first little girl. She was back at work in like 2 weeks, and if I have a cold real bad, I want to call in sick. But anyways, we're seeing Karen back on the replay. We do got some tweets coming in, Marcus. Greg Johnson actually does like your hat.
Awesome. You can go to hoskis.com and pick up this hat, or go to your local HO dealer and find the Syndicate hat as well. Snapback, I love it.
And remember, hit us
One
up on
size fits
Twitter at Waterski Pro-Am, at Waterski Pro-Am. We'll read out your questions, your shout-outs. If you see somebody like it, if you don't understand what you're seeing, let us know. We'll help. We'll talk about it and do our best to keep you entertained as well. But here we are with Karina Nolan at 32 off the line. Now remember, Karen, being the higher seed, had the option to choose either boat or if she went out first or second. Again, the second score must beat the first skier's score. I imagine Karen being a Mastercraft skier, Karina being a Nautique skier, Karen took the risk and said, I'm going to go out first, make Karina beat me, knowing Karina would pick the Nautique and Karen would then end up with the Mastercraft.
I think you're a pretty sharp individual, Tad.
Every now and again, every dog has his day.
I love that you just gave us a play-by-play from the dock, and you have been sitting here the whole time. Pretty
All
sharp.
right. Well, we got right now with Steve Chesnauskas, we got an interview with Miss Kate Adrianson. Steve, what's going on, buddy?
All right, we're live here with Kate. Kate just got done skiing against Whitney. How'd it go for you, Kate?
Well, I lost, but it was a good run. It was fun. Yeah.
You enjoy coming out here to the West Coast and skiing in the California Pro-Am?
I do. I love the weather. It's like nice and warm, but not humid, so you don't sweat too much. I really like it, and the lakes are beautiful.
Yeah. How about the competition? I mean, the bar has gotten raised pretty high nowadays. How you feeling with the pressure of that? Are you feeling good about your performance today?
I am. Like, it's tough. It's a high cut every year, and this is the first year I actually made the head-to-head, so I'm just happy I made the head-to-head. And I mean, Whitney's a former world record holder, so I knew it was going to be really hard to beat her, but it was still fun skiing against her.
Have a new Radar Vapor. It looks like that was working good for you today.
Yeah, it's a really good ski. I love it to slalom on. I got their trick skis too. I love their trick skis, so it's a good brand.
Great. And you're a 3-event skier.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I slalom, trick, and jump. So it's hard for me to come to just slalom tournaments, but you got to pick the right ones, and this is a good one to come to.
Right on. Well, we're proud of you, and we're glad you're here, and thanks for coming a long way from home. And back to you guys.
All right, well, thanks, Ches. I'm sure we'll be talking with you and whoever you got behind the mic a little later. Pretty cool. As we saw the interview, we watched Karen make it through a 35 off pass. So again, that's about 30 some odd feet of rope that she was working with, and not a problem at all for her right there.
No, I was just doing the calcs in my head, and I'm pretty sure Karen's run 35 off that 40-foot rope length more times than I've brushed my teeth.
Yeah,
I have good dental hygiene, so that's a lot of times.
Debatable.
Thanks, buddy. I love the vote of confidence.
All right, Karina's going to follow it up, and we will see if she can keep her hopes alive and get through this next pass as well. Karina, again, coming off an injury for a little while, and following her on social media, on her Facebook, on Twitter, she is doing the CrossFit, and as strong as I've ever seen her as well. I was lucky enough a few years back to be able to train with her over on the East Coast for a little while. And she's looking as strong as I've ever seen her, and she's as hungry as I've ever seen her. She wants to show everybody, she's back, and she's back to challenge for the top spot.
She's hungry because she's wadding every day, Tad. She's working out every day. That's why she's hungry. No, but seriously, the one insight I will give you folks out there, if there's anybody listening that cares about the finer intricacies of what's happening in this matchup, Karina tore her Achilles tendon ruptured on her back foot, her back ankle. So if you watch on this next pass coming up, we're going to see Karen first, and then we're going to see Karina try to match whatever Karen does. Karina's having a little bit of difficulty getting the amount of flexion she needs. If you're a water skier, you know your back ankle has to flex more than your front. Karina's got limited flexion in her back ankle. So what you see is she's defaulting to her back foot every time she turns the first buoy, the third buoy, or the fifth buoy on 135. So you'll see the tip come up, and you'll see her fall to the back of the ski a little bit more than she normally does, and that's going to spell trouble at 38 off if she's going to have to get all the way through the pass. But let's see what Karen does first.
All right, so Karen Truelove, 38 off, handle again, half a foot inside of that buoy line, if not even more with the direction that she's going. Nice turn out of 1, pulling a little long into 2. Come in a lot of speed to 3, and this is where she's got to do a little work, not necessarily to make up, but to maintain that pace, maintain that rhythm. And you know what? That's why she's one of the best in the world right there. A little trouble at the beginning, but not a big deal. She just kept her head about her, kept that rhythm, kept that same pace, and was able to get around all 6 buoys.
Yeah, you watch the replay here. It wasn't the prettiest 38 off that I've seen from Karen, but she's a veteran. And what's cool about it is it gives guys like me hope that you can get better with age, because she's clearly not slowing down at all. And she's had 2 kids, and she's, at the end of her career, and she's still out there crushing 38 off.
Well, I'll tell you what, she's here with her husband, Freddie Krueger. That's right, folks. His name is Freddie Krueger. He is the best, one of the best jumpers in the world. So he's here to support her this weekend. He's going to get on the mic a little later. But Marcus, I saw him. He was in the same spot yesterday doing what I like to call the coach's crouch.
Yeah.
Because he is Karen's coach. He's over there. He's got his camera. He's videoing this whole event for her to study at a later time. He's directly across the lake from us. He gets up, stands, and films, and then when he's not, he does the coach crouch.
Well, he's not doing the coach crouch now. He's filming as Karina comes in for 38 off. She knows she's got to run all 6. Let's see what happens on this offside turn. Oh, you see that right there? The tip came up. Now she's in trouble. She's going to have to keep it down at 3. She got stuck at 3, and that is all she wrote. And I hate to say it, Tad, but that's exactly what I warned you folks about. That very thing on the 135 side, or offside turn, and you're going to see here on the replay, that is a direct result of that lingering Achilles rupture. And you see this one ball here, the tip comes up because she can't stay over her front foot. That rear ankle is limiting her, and it's an unfortunate thing, but you need your ankles. So folks out there, don't ever rupture your Achilles, because you see right here a direct result. This is a very easy pass.
Words of wisdom from Marcus.
Words of wisdom.
Go
Don't-
ahead and not
Just-
rupture your Achilles.
Just don't sever that thing. Only got 2 of them. Keep them intact. You see out of 3 ball, she just kind of had no hope. And it's unfortunate because we've seen Karina over the years run 39 after 39.
Yes.
The next pass after this with ease. And now she's still struggling, even though she's stronger and more fit than she's ever been. She's having a tough time staying balanced on your ski, and that's the name of the game.
And it's going to be something that she's going to have to learn, figure out another way to get the job done.
Yep.
But for now, still great skiing by Karina. Of course, we all know she'd want to go a little further, but that means Karen Trulove is going to move on, and she's going to end up taking on Whitney McClintock in the final 4 round. So we've got Regina Jaquas still waiting to see who she's going to battle, and we're going to find out here next as we have France's Manon Costard, number 4 seed, going up against Great Britain's Nicole Arthur. That's coming up here in a second. Got a couple questions coming in, Marcus.
Uh-oh.
Carter Williams loving the webcast. Where's the trick skiing? Well, this weekend is slalom only. Not going to do trick skiing. Maybe we'll do that at another event. I think we got an event potentially coming up in the year. Don't know if there's tricking in that. But Carter, thanks for watching. Got a question from Scott Chipman. Marcus, you were involved in the design of the brand new Mastercraft Pro Star. Any differences between the 15 and this current model year, 2014?
Yeah, it was a great part of my career to be able to be involved for a couple of years in the development of the new Pro Star, which was long overdue, but I think has been very well received. And between the 14 model, the introductory year, and the current the new 15s, we've obviously refined it. We've fixed some tweaks, done some tweaks to fix some little things here and there. I think it's a better boat now. Performs better. The power and acceleration's better. The tracking's better, and the wake's better.
Cool.
So.
Very cool. Yeah, looking forward to seeing when that comes off the line. I mean, we're lucky enough, at most of the tournaments you go to, it's one boat company, but I feel like we're lucky enough to have 2 of the best boat companies here representing this event and pulling the event. So very cool, Mastercraft and Nautique to step up, and at this event it's been like this since, well, they've been doing this is the 12th year, I believe, for the California program.
Yep.
Originally starting off at Diablo Shores a couple hours away, but now held right here at Belacqua Lakes in Rio Linda, California. And on the water, this is France's Manon Costard. She was the number 4 seed. The last couple years really coming on strong, coming into her own, putting up some large scores at different events. I believe setting a collegiate record as well. She's going to take on former world record holder Nicole Arthur. Nicole, been on the scene for, I'd say, on the pro scene for just under 10 years, maybe 7, 8 years now. Always a threat to anybody out there, and she's one of those athletes that's as strong as anybody pound for pound, and she's a very looks to be like a slight build, but she is all muscle.
She's wiry. She's stringy. She's
There you
strong. You don't want to mess with Nicole. She's Scottish, so that's another reason why you don't want to mess with her. But yeah, Tad, Manon, she's been coming on. She's a junior. She did well at Junior Masters years ago. She's really come on the last couple years in the pro scene. And you have a girl like Nicole Arthur, who's a world champion, one of her first years on the pro circuit in 2007 in Austria, Linz, Austria. She won the world championships. And so to see these two go head-to-head, they're both lefties, which means they have 3 onside turns, 1, 3, and 5. This is going to be a great matchup.
All right, well, here we go. This is Nicole Arthur. So Nicole must beat whatever score Manon puts out there. And you watch the style, and we'll talk about this throughout the day. Each skier, has a unique style, just like in any event. Michael Phelps has a different style than another swimmer, or a snow skier has a different style than another snow skier. But they all get the same thing accomplished in the end.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter how you look, it matters what you do. Just like pitching. I mean, baseball. There's people who wind up different, who release different. As long as that ball gets over the plate and the guy doesn't hit it,
Yeah.
you've done your job.
Again, it's simple,
Very simple.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, what I will say, in water skiing, whether it's slalom, trick, or jump, if the skier's really good at what they do, it doesn't look that hard. Is that bad that I want it to be different? I want it to be, if the skier's really good, it looks really freaking hard. But it's the opposite. So if somebody looks like they're not doing anything, that means that they're doing everything right.
Well, and
most likely.
To prove your point, folks, if you're out there watching and you're kind of a weekend skier, you've never done a course, and you got a boat and you got a water ski, go out there. and tie your rope up a lot shorter.
Really short.
Really
like
short.
41 off. You didn't hear from us. You didn't hear from us. But go do it. Because we want you to understand what these women and men are going to be doing today.
And have your boat go 34, 35 miles an hour straight, and just try to do just turns. Don't even go around buoys. Just try to do turns.
See how that feels. Yeah. See if you can keep the rope tight.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard. That's what we're saying. We're not saying you suck. We're saying that these girls are really good. That's what we're saying. Just to clarify.
You got me a little stumbled right here.
I guarantee you that that you're not going to look as good as Manon just did.
I mean, but this is years and years of practice.
Years.
Just about anybody that we see on the water today has been doing this since they were anywhere from 3 years old to 6 years old. You know, this isn't something that 2 years ago Manon was like, hey, I feel like I want to water ski professionally today.
And to your point, Tad, it's kind of sad for me because I've been skiing professional for almost 20 years now. And to see the sport where it is now with athletes like Manon and Nicole and Regina and Whitney and Karen who dedicate so many hours and make so many compromises in their daily and personal lives to be able to do what they do for you folks out there. And, you know, I wish there was more for us, for them. I wish there was more out there, but it doesn't matter. They still love it just as much whether there's 10,000 people watching or 100,000 people. It doesn't matter.
Well, we are glad to have the greater Sacramento area watching us right now. We hope you're enjoying what we're bringing you. We're going to do our best to entertain you throughout the day and let you see the world's best water skiers out here on the water. But here we go. Nicole Arthur, this is 32 off the line, so still technically an easier pass for these ladies. As we see Nicole, and you know, watching her ski, I love her style. She, as you said, makes it look so easy. She makes it look almost effortless to a point.
I think this is Trent Finlayson's doppelganger, if I'm not mistaken.
I agree. Yeah, they from the neck down, you know.
Amount of ink. Yeah. But she's a sweetheart. She's a sweetheart. She's a phenomenal athlete, great person, and you see right here on the replay a very, very strong technician, meaning she skis really smooth. She's really technically sound. She's got good rhythm, and again, Tad, she makes it look too easy. So you guys out there can't really necessarily appreciate it if you haven't seen it before because it looks so easy and so kind of relaxed.
All right, we got some more tweets coming in, Marcus. Travis Fisher, loving the webcast.
Travis.
Nice to have you. All the way from South Africa, another South African watching.
What's his handle? If you folks out there aren't following Travis Fisher from South Africa on either Instagram or Twitter, what's
at Ski Trav.
At Ski Trav. Phenomenal pictures, video. I know he just got a drone. He's doing GoPro stuff, POV. He's mounting them on his back, on his head, on his ear, anywhere you can think of, and he's got some phenomenal shots.
Cool.
Really cool guy to follow.
I'll have to follow him along. And if you want to ask us any more questions, any more shout-outs, it's at Water Ski Pro-Am, at Water Ski Pro-Am. But here we go. Francis Manoka start. Oh, big hit out of the one-ball turn. Oh, no. And, you know, Marcus, we're going to check the replay here in a second. I don't know how that happened.
Tad, that's really unusual. You see here on the replay, she came into one and she fell over. You see right here, she just got so much turn and the ski she couldn't hang on to it, so she got pulled out. And then she had to pull all the way to 2, and to make the turn, she needed to get really lucky, and her ski just dug in. And there's no way to hang on to it, no matter who you are.
Very unfortunate, uncharacteristic fall this early from Manon.
But unfortunately, that does highlight how difficult this sport is, even at the 35 off line length, which every girl has run today so far, and how quickly things can go wrong.
And in this head-to-head format,
anything's possible.
Exactly. You know, you can be the #1 seed, or you can be the world record holder, or you can be the hottest skier on the water today. But if in that heat, in that bracket, if you don't put up the best score, you know, you're going home. And we will see if Nicole, you know, the door's open for her.
It's not easy.
It's not a done deal.
It's not easy though, because now now that's all you're thinking about is, oh, all I have to do is get a full 2 buoys, and that changes your whole game plan, your whole approach.
All right, well, Manon's walking into shore. We're going to get there. You have Nicole Arthur on the water, and we will see. You know, this is a little bit of a mental game. 2 at 35 should be nothing on a daily basis, but can Nicole kind of harness that energy and keep her nerves down to get it? Solid turn at 1 ball, gets over to 2. She needs to go, and she does.
So she's good.
And all right, so the nerves are gone. Nicole's just getting a little bit more action on the water, just kind of still warming up. I have a bet you money she'll go for that next pass after this just to give it a shot. But we're going to set her down, and it looks like we got Ches with one of our competitors, Karina Nolan. Ches, how's it going over there?
All right, we're here at the California Pro-Am with Karina Nolan. She just took her ride, and we just want to talk to her a little bit about how to go for you, Karina.
Could have been a little better, but you know, you have those days, and I got my head off, and I'm just happy to be here. It's a beautiful tournament, and it's great to see all my friends that I haven't seen for a while. So yeah, it feels fantastic out there.
You looked really strong. I know you've been training a lot with CrossFit and stuff like that. How's that paying off for you?
Yeah, you know, it's tough juggling two sports. I absolutely love CrossFit. I love it just as much as skiing, and it definitely challenges me in different ways mentally. You know, sometimes I think it makes me feel on the water a lot stronger than what I did today, but that's kind of how it is. It's part of the sport.
Well, you look great, and it looks like you're riding an awesome skiing HO, and we appreciate you being here supporting the event.
Yeah, you know, HO does a great job. We have, you know, this ski coming out. We have our new prototype that everyone's demoing on the other lake. So it's great to have Nautique as one of the sponsors, and you guys are just doing such a good job in this tournament, for sure.
Perfect. Thank you. Back to you.
All right, well, good to hear from Karina with Ches there. Thank you, Ches. We'll chat with you later. And coming back right now, Nicole is going to give 38 off a shot, and why not? She's coming back down the lake anyway. Might as well get a little extra time on the water, get a little more warmed up, feel out that 38 off line length, because I have a feeling she'll have to see it again in her next heat.
No pressure, which makes it kind of weird, because then she's probably going to ski a little differently. But you see right there, she knows that that's probably not what she wanted to do, but she wasn't going to hang on to that and hurt herself potentially and be out of the competition, because she is moving on to that final, semifinal matchup.
And here's how it's going to be in our final four. We've got our number 1 seed, Regina Jaquess, will be battling Nicole Arthur, who we just saw on the water. And we will have our number 3 seed, Karen Trulove, take on number 2 seed, Whitney McClintock. I believe we're going to hit Regina and Nicole first, so we might have to get Nicole back down to the dock here sooner than later. Looks like we got a boat going to pick her up now, and then we'll go with Karen and Whitney after that.
I just want to know one thing, Tad. How do I get my voice like your voice? How do I get that Donald? Remember when Donald Duck got hit with the planter on his head, and all of a sudden he could sing? Remember this?
You want to know the secret?
How do I get that broadcast quality voice? I want that. I'll give you the dreads if you give me the broadcast quality voice.
Deal. A lot of wine.
Well, what I'm trying to say is I enjoy being up here again with you. It's been a couple of years, buddy.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I really appreciate what you're doing for the sport, being the voice of reason, and sharing what we do, what we love to do with the world. Well, and I appreciate that. Taking time out of your daily life to come and explain to folks what we do and the sport that we love.
Well, thank you very much, Marcus. You know, I have fun doing it, watching the best in the world. You know, it's not a bad gig to have. And, you know, always good to be here. And thank you for your support and everything you've done as well. Glad to have you up here. You know, I can only talk so much and educate so much, but to have somebody like you here, and we had Freddie yesterday, helps out a lot in being able to spread what we both love to do.
Spread the love.
Yeah.
You see Nicole there getting picked up by the boat. She's getting picked up by that Mastercraft Pro Star only because she's up now again. And she's up against current world record holder Regina Jaquess.
That's another aspect that we need to speak about with this head-to-head is, you know, the old saying goes, no rest for the weary.
Yeah.
Nicole literally just got off the water. She's going to have to take on Regina Jaquess right now with no break at all. Regina, being the higher seed, again, we go back, has the option to either ski first or second, and then, or which boat she gets to ski behind. If I was Regina, I wouldn't worry about the boat so much at this point and kind of play the strategy. Well, is Nicole tired? Well, Nicole's one of the top athletes in the world. She just did one set. She's probably not tired. If I was Regina, if it was me, I'd go out first.
I would tend to agree. Regina's really good when she's under the gun, and she's going to go out first, put the pressure on, it looks like, and see if Nicole can keep up.
All right, so...
And as you said before, just to clarify, normally, if the skiers tie in any normal competition, that means they have to do a tiebreaker or some sort of go back to the previous round seeding. In this head-to-head matchup, the first skier, by going first, they say, hey, you have to beat me to the second skier. If the second skier ties whatever the first skier does, the first skier gets to advance. because the thinking is the second skier knew what they had to do, and if they couldn't beat or exceed what the first skier did, the first skier moves on.
Yeah, and that's it's a fun rule to watch. You know, the first skier, the way it works, I'm going to put this down, and you got to top it. And if you tie me, I win.
You're out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we will see. It looks like from the monitor that Regina's going first, I believe, and she might be behind the Nautique, whereas Nicole is going to go out second behind the Mastercraft. So we will see in just a moment if that is in fact the case. I believe it is. So we've got Regina coming out. Now, Marcus, in the first round, the girl started at 28 off. Now, in this round right here, we're shortening it up from the get-go, starting at 32 off. So they've already had a round under their belt. Regina skied about 30 minutes ago. Nicole, of course, 2 minutes ago.
Yep.
So they're warmed up, starting at 32 off, which, you know, I think it's pretty cool to shorten it up each time. In fact, Regina typically starts at 32 anyway.
Yeah, for the most part, Regina always starts at 32 off, so for her, this is no big deal. But for you folks at home and for us here watching it at Belle Aqua Lakes, this California Pro-Am, it just means we get to the main action quicker. There's less passes before we get to see the money passes, which are those 38, 39.5 off passes, and maybe 41 off, where the rope is 3.5 feet short, or that handle's 3.5 feet inside the buoy. Tad, what do we have going on in the Twitterverse?
We got a shout out from Performance Ski and Surf, giving a shout out to their boy Will Asher, who we'll see later.
Performance is one of the premier pro shops for all your gear needs in Orlando.
Yeah, that's right. And they're watching us on the webcast. Thanks, Bill, and all the crew down at Performance. Shout out for their rider, Will Asher, who we'll see in a little bit. But, you know, touching on everything else we got going on, we got our women right now. I'm going to find out from our chief official when we get through our Final Four if we're going to go direct into our super final with the women or if we're going to hit up our Elite Eight with the men. Speaking of, number 1 seed Nate Smith will take on number 8 Chris Rossi. Number 4 Terry Winter will take on 5 Daniel Odvarco. Number 3 Will Asher versus number 6 John Travers. Number 2 Freddie Winter taking on number 7 Thomas DeGaspery. That's coming up here in just a little bit. But on the water right now, you just watched her a couple minutes ago, Miss Nicole Arthur, 32 off. And, you know, you would think Nicole would be a little worn down, but as good of a shape as she is in physically, I think she's ready to rock at this point.
You know, like we talked about earlier, Tad?
All right, well, real quick, Marcus, we'll get back to that in a second, but right now, we got Ches, and he is with Manon Costard. Ches, how you doing, bud?
We're here at the California Pro-Am this morning in Rio Linda with Manon Costard from France. Manon, how things go for you this morning? You look like you're skiing really solid this morning.
Well, yesterday I felt really good. This morning was really disappointing for me. It's still a lot of fun to be here. I couldn't make it last year, and I'm really happy to be here this year. But yeah, I wished I did better this morning.
Well, you look good out there, and it looks like you're riding a Monte Carlo. Tell us a little bit about the ski.
It's my favorite ski for sure. I've been on it for the past 3 years, and it's been 3 years that I'm skiing a lot better than before. And it's a ski made in France, and they're helping me a lot with everything, not just the skiing and material, but with the training, and it's a great company.
Great. Well, we thank you for coming here to California and participating, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you very much.
Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Ches. Good to hear from Manon. And while Ches was out there with Manon, Regina, as we see our replay right here, takes down 35 off.
Yeah, she's just that good. We didn't need to show you it in real time. We can just show you in the replay, and you can just take our word for it that it looked really easy. 35 off. Again, 40 feet of rope. 2.5 feet longer than what you need to get outside the buoy, but Regina making it look like it was just another warm-up pass for her.
All right, we got some more questions coming in on the Twitter from Pat Stadnicki, relating his question to hockey, being that he's from Alberta. Thank you for watching up there in Alberta. Ice can be fast or slow. Does different water have similar effects? Great question. Marcus?
Yes, the answer is yes, all of it. Water can be faster and slower. It's based on basically the physics of things, right? Temperature. Colder water tends to feel faster, harder when you fall than warmer water. Also, suspended particles. If you see a lake that's really muddy, that's going to feel different than a lake that's really clear. And that has to do with all kinds of other different factors. But great question, and that's part of what we talked about earlier, how different lakes feel completely different from one lake to the next, one country, one state to the next.
All right, well, here you go. Nicole Arthur needs to match, needs to get at all 6 buoys here at 35 off. Solid, great turn out of 2 over to 3 ball. And Nicole looking solid at 4, and she's dialed in there, Marcus. She got all 6, not a problem at all for Nicole.
Again, she, like Karen, is inspiration for me because she's been dealing with some injuries for the last couple of years, Tad. And to see her back out here on the water, competing again at this elite levels is inspiring, because it shows you that it's not all peaches and cream. It does get hard. People do get hurt. I'm there right now with a back injury, and to see her back out here in this top 4 matchup, top 4 skiers in the world basically,
yes,
on this day, is very inspiring. And it's a cool story for me because I can relate to it.
All right, well, that leads me right in almost to our next question. From Scott Shipman asking Marcus when we can expect to see you back skiing.
Well, if you mean by skiing at this elite level, rounding buoys, I'm not sure yet, but I am trying very, very hard to make a comeback. I'm hungrier than I've ever been, and for now, I'm content free skiing, and I'll be on Lake Powell next week, so if anybody's ready for a trip, come down and meet us on Lake Powell. Come find us.
All right, well, here you go. 38 off for Regina Jaquess, coming in around 1 ball right there. And things are getting a little tough here for Regina as she rounds 3 over to 4. Well, they should be getting tough for Regina, but
they don't. They're
not.
No.
That's a very difficult pass, and she made that look as easy as can be. Regina Jaquess through 38 off. You can't say enough about what she's done on the water already this weekend. You know, running 39 yesterday. I don't even know if it was 2 times. I've got my list right here.
As you watch the replay, you see her tip come up. We talked about that being a problem earlier, but she's the greatest maybe right now in the world, and she can manage that at 38 off and still run an early pass. And one of the things, before I forget, that we don't talk about is we talk about everything that they do great on the water and everything they sacrifice to do these great things on the water, but we don't talk about what they do off the water enough, I don't think. You know, Regina has a full-time job.
So she owns her own compounding pharmacy in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. She has her doctorate or master's in pharmacy.
Yep.
And her along, she has her sister down there, Renee, helping run the show. And yeah, you know, she's got that gig going. And then in the afternoon, she trains skiing. And well, you know, she's only the most decorated women's water skier of all time.
And she still does all 3, slalom, trick, and jump.
All right, here we go. Oh my. Just to get into Nicole Arthur into 38 off.
Wow.
And just got a little too hungry out of 1, you know, a little too deep. And, you know,
the same thing we saw Manon do at 35 off, you see Nicole do here on the first pass. And a lot of times as skiers, we try to get a great start. And that oftentimes means you're pushing the limits at 1 ball, like you see right there. The ski just dug in too much, Tad.
All right,
couldn't hang on to it.
Unfortunate for Nicole going down. Good news for Regina. She moves on. She has the option to try 39.
You think she's going to come out and run 39 for us, or is she going to save it for the final matchup?
I think she saves it.
I think she is.
You don't cheat.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking. I think she's probably going to save it. She knows she can run 39 if she needs to. She's going to keep some fuel in that gas tank for this final matchup between either Karen or Whitney, whoever wins this next matchup.
All right, well, we got Nicole swimming in. We got some more tweets coming in. Michael Johnson, you tweeted the picture yesterday, and Marcus, here's his picture today, watching us from Cancun in his cabana.
Oh my gosh, how do I get there? Can you transport me right now? That looks beautiful. Cancun. They have internet in Cancun?
Apparently, he's got his iPad. And we got Regina coming in right now, going to give 39 a shot. She ran it both rounds yesterday. Big turnout of 1. Now, Regina looks very pretty in the early passes.
She just wanted to feel the start.
Yeah.
That's all. That's smart.
What I was getting into is she looks amazing, pretty, smooth in the early passes, but this young lady is a master of scrapping a pass out if necessary. If you folks at home are watching this and you want to see a ridiculous pass, just go to YouTube and look up Regina Jaquess, and there's passes from a year or so ago of her running 39 off where I don't even think more than half the men out here couldn't hold on to some of the stuff she holds on to.
She's an animal. Like we talked about true grit. You know, Tad, that kind of highlights maybe little more finer idiosyncrasies of the sport. But you saw Nicole earlier try 38 off when she didn't need to, and she didn't run it. And I think it might have gotten her head, and you see her fell at 38 off. She's trying to get a better start than she did the first time. You see Regina do that, and she already knows she can run it. She was just trying to get a good start and see if she can get a good warm-up going into the finals.
All right, well, we're going to get Karen Truelove versus Whitney McClintock here in a second. But right now, we have Access Sacramento's Rick Stewart here. Rick, who you got with you?
Around the two ball.
Alrighty, thanks, Tad. I'm here with Tanya, and Tanya, you said even though your company's based in San Diego, you support the ski tournament skiers everywhere.
Yes, we do. We are a lakeside water ski resource for the water ski community in Southern California. We are proud to represent brands that you see here: Good, Syndicate, Radar, just across the board, Eagle, Masterline. So all your top brands are represented by us, and we provide sales, service, demos on skis, and coaching as well. So covering this event is just an extreme pleasure, seeing all these incredible skiers perform. So yes.
Where was the last tournament, if you remember where it was?
I believe it was at Lake Nacimiento, which is another Southern California beautiful lake. So yes, Far West Water Ski Club.
All righty, thanks, Tanya. Have a good time at the tournament here.
Thank
you. Tad, back to you.
All right, Marcus, we're back. Thank you very much, Rick. And you know, cool to see we got a lot of cool vendors out here this weekend, from our boat companies to ski companies to local companies. So you know, if you're out there in Sacramento, you want to have something fun to do, something exciting to see, come in and check us out live here at Bell Aqua Lakes in Rio Linda, California. We are into our last of our final 4 heats.
The finals, close to the finals.
We've got Whitney McClintock versus Karen Truelove. Looks like Whitney is coming out first behind the Nautique. So starting at 32 off, we'll see Whitney if she can navigate her way here through this pass. Whitney ripping, you know, I talked about this yesterday, Marcus. I went on a tiny little rant. You know, these skiers, top level athletes physically, mentally. But you look at the Whitney or Karina from earlier, you got to look good on the water. You got to coordinate.
And they do that very well.
Yes.
I mean, I think they obsess about it a little bit. But it's funny you say that. The 2 girls that maybe coordinate the best, they both coordinate with pink.
Yeah, that's
What
true.
is it about women in pink?
But, you know, I don't see the guys even doing anything. You know, the guys got yellow shorts and green gloves and a blue ski and what.
Well, that's probably the guys that don't have girls because they can't do it themselves. So they're just winging it. We've all been there.
Well, we're going to get Karen out in a second. We got a couple more tweets coming in. Look at this. Renee Jaquist, Regina's sister, watching from Corey Picos in Santa Rosa Beach at Corey Picos Ski School where Regina trains. You know, Corey Picos, a legend in the sport, and Regina, you know, been training there for years. Loving the webcast and giving a shout out to her sister. Well, Renee, thanks for watching. Always glad to have you checking us out online.
P.S. Renee is a very accomplished wake skater.
That's true.
And she used to be a great 3-event water skier like her younger sister, but she kind of gave that up to wake skate.
You know, I used to coach them when they were really little, so I kind of take some of the credit for what they're doing now.
I mean, what percentage of the credit?
I mean, they were, you know, 4 and 6, and I was...
You were like 13?
Yeah.
Let's not date you. I don't know how you were, but...
yeah, I'm not sure. All right. As we see Karen Truelove, not a problem at 32 off for her. So Karen making her way through that pass with no issues at all. And we've got, you know, I'll tell you this, Marcus, another tweet right now coming from Carter Williams. You know, one of our folks here, HO Skis, came out with a brand new ski. I think you might have known what to do with it, had a little hand in it. What's going on with
the V-Type?
The V-Type, the new V-Type.
You know, the V-Type is a kind of the pinnacle of what we've been doing with the Syndicate program for the last 5-6 years, since we came out with the A1 in 2008. We had the A1, the A2, the A3, we had S1 and S2, and they were both top-tier skis, one for 34, one for 36, but we started finding that people love the S2 at 36 miles an hour. Some of the best skiers in the world, Terry Winter, ran his best passes on the S2, which was marketed as a 34-mile-an-hour ski. So moving forward for 2015, we developed a single ski that took the best of both elements.
Cool,
really.
Very cool.
And we're having great success with it. We just had a demo day yesterday. If you can get your hands on one, I beg you, do it.
Well, I mean, you have the likes of Marcus, along with Bob Lapointe, Chris Lapointe, legends,
Will Asher.
California legends, Will
Yep.
Asher, all in the design team. You're bound to come up with something pretty cool. As we see Whitney McClintock, this is 35 off the line right here. And Whitney making short work of this. Folks at home, as Marcus was saying, he kind of wishes they'd make it look hard. Whitney is not doing you any favors.
Yeah, that's kind of the fine line. When you see the best skiers in the world, they make it look so easy that you're like, why is that so hard? And then if you went to try it, put the rope at 41 off on Lake Folsom or Folsom Lake or whatever, at 34 miles an hour even, you might die. I'm just saying, you might die. So you didn't hear it from us, but you should go try it because you'd gain a new appreciation for what these ladies and gentlemen are doing today.
And I'll tell you this, we've got multiple events around the world, and we try to webcast them whenever we can. If you're interested, contact the folks at the California Pro-Am that can kind of point you in the right direction, or just heck, Google water skiing, Google
Go to your
professional
local
water
dealer.
skiing.
Go to Performance Ski and Surf in
Yeah.
Orlando. Go to NorCal Mastercraft. Go to wherever you are. Seek out these connections, and they'll lead you in the right direction.
All right, well, we're going to have Karen coming back in at 35 off the line, and we'll keep getting back on Twitter here in just a second.
So again, this is Karen's second ride today?
Second
And
run of the day.
She is making these passes look so easy, riding that good, keeping that tip down pretty well. I don't want to tell you how old Karen is, but she's old enough to know a few things, and she doesn't ski like it. She's skiing like one of the rookies out there, strong, powerful, and very smooth.
Yeah, and I was speaking with her husband, Freddie Krueger, yesterday. We're talking about the veterans on the women's and on the men's side, and water skiing, it's a sport for all ages, but when we're talking about right here, on the women's side of things, you're looking in mid to late 30s. On the men's side of things, are veterans out there, are the likes of Chris Parrish or
Terry
Chris
Winter.
Rossi, Terry Winter, who are mid 30s too. I remember the day that Chris Parrish and you and Terry were coming, and Jamie Beauchesne were coming on the scene, and
We were kids.
battling
Yep.
the likes of Andy Mapple and Wade Cox.
Well, and to your point, Andy Mapple, he skied professionally and at a world-class level and pushed us all the way into his 40s.
Yeah.
So that's what's crazy about water skiing, especially slalom, maybe even tricks and jump, is you can do this for a long time at a very high level.
You look at jump, you look at one of
Freddie.
the best in the world, the Rocket Man, Scott
Oh,
Ellis.
yes, Scott, he's what, 42? Yeah.
And even here at the Pro-Am this weekend with our amateurs, we were in all age divisions.
No, Scotty's 44.
Oh, wow, we're all age division. But here we go. We got Whitney McClintock. This is a little tougher pass, 38 off. That boat traveling at a constant 34 miles an hour down the lake. Now, Marcus, what can you even estimate what Whitney's skier speed would be at a line length of 38 off? She's almost got to double that boat speed because she's going across the course.
Yep, she's going from one side to the next. To get around these buoys, to navigate these buoys, you have to swing, as you see here on the replay, through the gates. You have to swing very fast behind the boat, and that's probably anywhere from 55 to 65 miles an hour. But realize that the buoys, they're anywhere from 30 to 34 miles an hour. So it's not necessarily the speed, Tad, it's the acceleration. I mean, when you're going in your car at 90 miles an hour down the freeway, which you should never do.
Never do
ever.
that, ever.
But it doesn't feel that fast. But if you get in a car and you try to round a corner at 90, which is an acceleration, or you try to hit the gas really hard, that's what you feel. And as a skier, the rush that we get is when we turn the buoy and we accelerate towards the wakes, and it's really the acceleration from 30 to 65. It's not necessarily the speed. And that's what's crazy is that's the rush. That's why we keep coming back for more, because it's a freaking rush.
That's what
it's
I was
awesome.
going to say. That when I'm out there, and you're turning those turns, and all of a sudden you're slingshotting across one way and the other. That's what you want to feel, and that's why if you can get on the water and you can make a turn and it clicks and something feels right, you're hooked.
You're hooked.
Yeah.
And the better you get, the bigger the rush.
All right, well, here we go. Oh, wow. Karen getting real deep out of one.
Nasty out of one. She's good, though, at 3.
The KG veteran keeps her head in the game.
Uh-oh.
Here we
She's
go.
gonna need a big 5.
Can she
She's got it.
maintain?
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
What a way to veteran your way through the pass, right?
I'll tell you what, she started from a setback. She started from behind, if you watch the replay right here. Not a bad shot through the gates, but watch how deep she gets right there out of one.
Big one ball. Pretty good at 2, and then at 3 ball, you see the tip come up. You can watch it here on the replay, and that's where she got behind. And then it was catch up from there.
Well, you know, she maintained that pace after that. You know, 3, she had the hiccup. She maintained the pace. She wasn't wide or early for 5 or 6, but you know, it doesn't matter at that point. She just needs to get around them.
You see her throw the fist. She's stoked.
She's breathing a little heavy, but she's gonna cool down, cooler jets right now, and you know.
You know what? I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the volume of the crowd out here. People are screaming, people are hooting and hollering when people are around in buoys. It's really cool atmosphere out here, Tad. I wish all the folks at home were here right now.
Well, you still have time. We've got a lot more action left in the day, folks out there in Sacramento. Come on down, Bell Aqua Lakes, Rio Linda, California. You can Google it. It'll get you the directions right here down on East Street, I believe. But here we go, Whitney McClintock. This is 39 off. First 39 in competition we've seen today for the
Big
women.
2, wow, she's in this pass, folks. Big 3, you see her crush a little bit. Big 4, you see her from the boat here. 5, and she's going to get around 6 and out the gates. Wow. What phenomenal skiing, Tad.
Just when it counts, getting it done.
When it counts, exactly.
And then, you know, this young lady has got a couple titles under her belt this year, and to take the California Pro-Am title, I'm sure is on her list for 2014. And no better way to give yourself a good shot than run a gutsy, tough pass like that. Whitney McClintock, as we see the replay right here.
You know what's tough about this is you have a veteran like, wow, you see that, how deep she got at 3 ball. A veteran like Karen Trulove coming out, she knows now that she has to run all 6 buoys at the 39.5 off rope length, which is, I don't even know how long the rope is, but it's 2 feet short of the buoy. Karen hasn't done that in years in competition, in decades. So this is a great story right here. This is a great opportunity. I mean, chances are it's going to be very tough for her, but what if she does it? I mean, that would be the ultimate, right? So let's see what happens here. 39.5 off. It's been a long time since I've seen her get all 6, and she knows she needs all of them.
One thing I know, she'll leave it all out on the water. She's a tough competitor. Let's see if she can get all 6. Karen Trulove, 39 off the line, coming in hot to 1. Big turn, a little bit of a wheelie at 1, coming out at 2. She's going to get to 3. Can she keep it going? Oh my,
no.
Going down. Still underwater, hand in the air. She's okay. Gutsy performance. She left it on the water, Marcus. She literally threw herself outside a 3 ball.
Literally, her ski is like 500 feet away from her.
Across the entire course right now. But strong skiing, you know, she can't be upset with herself at that. She was a gutsy performance, a tough order, as we saw Whitney get through all 6. Whitney's got the option to try out 41 here as we see the replay. Now we're gonna check and see with our officials here in a second. Are we going to go to our super final, which is going to be Regina versus Whitney, or are we going to start with our men's? We'll find out here in a sec. But right now, on the water, we've got John Horton with Nicole Arthur. John, morning.
Here we are at the California Pro-Am with Nicole Arthur. She just got a half a buoy at 38 against world record holder Regina Jankquist. You had your work cut out for you, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a tough draw. She skied great. She's skiing strong. I just made a little mistake and boom, cost me. But it's okay. I'm happy. It's fun.
Nice. Well, you look good out there, and you're on the new Maple.
Yep, on the new Maple Torque. Feels great. Skied good out here. Yeah, couldn't really ask for better conditions out there. It's perfect.
Perfect. Well, we thank you for coming all the way to the West Coast. And
no, it was great. Thanks for having me. It's been a blast.
Great. Thank you, Nicole.
All right, thank you. That was Steve Chesnauskas. Thanks, Steve. Nicole, thank you very much. Always good to see you. And hey, no rest for the weary. Super final right now. Whitney versus Regina. Regina, the higher seed. Whitney's going out first.
This is 41 off, actually, Tad.
Oh, excuse me.
This is 41 off. She just might have got a full 2 buoys at 41 off, and she didn't even have to. That's like a bonus run.
That is my fault completely.
Wow.
I didn't think she was going to come out at 41.
It just shows you how tough and how confident these women are in their fitness.
Well, you look at that. Whitney just got 2 full buoys at 41. It looked like. We'll check on the replay. Well, world record holder Regina Jankquist is going to be her competitor in the super final.
And the world record's only like 2.5, right?
It's 3 1/4.
Oh, sorry, my bad. 3 1/4.
I think
it is.
And she did get it. Looks like she got around 2. I don't know, but
Big score nonetheless.
Yes, great, amazing skiing.
A couple years ago, that would have been a world record.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that.
And Whitney, a former world record, co-world record holder, along with Regina at that 2 at 41 just about a year or 2 years ago. So she's going to come back in. We did get word they're going to go right into the women's super final coming up next. Whitney drops off here. So we'll get confirmation again if they are going to go into our women right away. But just outstanding skiing. So you're going to have Regina Jaquess, your #1 seed. You're going to have Whitney McClintock, #2, coming up here in just a moment. But for right now, Marcus, let's head to Access Sacramento's Rick Stewart. Rick, what you got going on?
Nice one. Thanks, Tad. Thanks, Tad. I'm here with Owen Gleason. Owen, you're one of the younger fans here that is knowledgeable about the sport. You were telling me your mom and dad ski.
Yes, they do. They try to compete with each other somewhat.
Well, of course, we all do. But now you were telling me that you're not necessarily a skier. You're more of a wakeboarder, right?
Yep.
How long have you been wakeboarding?
5 years.
How good are you?
I can grab my board.
That's good, right? Now, what would it take for you to actually compete at a high level wakeboarding?
I'd have to practice a lot more than I do.
How old are you?
12.
And how long have you been wakeboarding, you tell me?
5.
5 years? Okay, so a couple more years of practice and you'll be like on the circuit?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, how often do you go out and practice and wakeboard?
Almost every weekend during the summer.
And how about during the school year?
Not as much.
Not as much because you're doing schoolwork, right?
Right.
Good job. Where do you go to school?
Vacaville Christian School.
All right, good job. All right, Tad, Owen Gleason, up and coming wakeboarder. Back to you.
All right. All right, and we are back here, California Pro-Am. We've got our women's super final coming up here in just a moment. Marcus, Regina Jaquess versus Whitney McClintock. We just watched Whitney get a score of 2 at 41 in a pro tournament, just out of hand skiing so far.
Yeah,
today.
so far today, that's the top score. And what's interesting is you saw Regina taking a freebie earlier on in the heat, and it was 39.5 off, and she didn't run it. Whereas you see Whitney here, she goes out, runs 2 at 41 off on a freebie situation. So that may play to Whitney's advantage going up against the current world record holder in this, super final head-to-head matchup.
These two girls have been trading titles all year long. Whitney taking the Masters. Regina, I think, took Milwaukee. Whitney with the Calgary. So it's been back and forth all day long. We're going to get their super final on the water in a second. I think they're talking to some folks behind us right now. If you're out there watching us, whether you're in Sacramento, whether you're in South Africa, Australia, wherever, let us hear from you. Hit us up on Twitter @WaterskiProAm, @WaterskiProAm. We will love to hear your shout-outs, hear your questions. Just let us know you're watching, what you think. If you like what you're seeing, if you don't like it, let us know. We can figure out a way to. Well, I won't do anything too big, to be honest. But I am here. We are here live. My name's Tad Schreiber, alongside Mr. Marcus Brown.
It's good to be here, Tad, with you, buddy.
It's always fun to come out to this
Best water skiing in the world.
This site is amazing. Just the vibe out here in California. I said it since the first time I've been out here. It's just a cool event to come to. You get kind of the cool local scene going on. There's a very big water ski scene up here in Northern California, and it's always fun to come out.
Hey, if you have any questions for Tad or I, tweet us right now. We have some downtime. It's a great time to answer any of your questions. You guys have been great so far. Let's keep them coming. We want to be interactive. We want to share our knowledge with you, and we want to share this event with you. So give us a shout out.
All right. Well, as I said, we got Regina versus Whitney coming up. We're going to see who our pro women's champ is here just a little bit. And then we're going to go into our pro men's head-to-head. We have our Elite 8. We have our top 8. Nate Smith, Chris Rossi, Terry Winter, Dan Odvarko, Will Asher versus John Travers, and Freddie Winter versus Thomas DeGasperi. But right now, we're going to hit up Access Sacramento's Rick Stewart. Where you at, Rick?
All right, thanks, Tad. Whitney McClintock you fell down in that run, but you're still in the finals. Now, what are you thinking going into the final? How do you prepare yourself?
That round went really well. I just stuck with my game plan, and that's what I'm just going to keep doing into the finals, too.
Okay, is it like drag racing? You know, you don't want to be in the lights first, so you want to let the other person get in there first. Is there a psych job?
I think who goes first is up to Regina this round because she's the top seeded athlete. But I mean, like I said, I'm just gonna go out, do what I can, and I know Regina is a fighter all the time, so it's gonna be a fun battle.
Have you gone head to head before?
Yeah, a couple times, pretty much every weekend. It's a battle between Regina and I.
Okay,
So
is it even winning?
Regina's been winning a little bit more lately. I had my season a couple years ago, so I'm trying to get back on top.
Okay, so it's your time today, maybe.
Maybe.
All right, good luck in the final. All right, Regina. You had a good run all tournament long, and how do you look at this going into the final? You know, you've obviously got a very talented opponent.
Yes, you know, all the way through, our top 8 that we had out here today have been the best of the best. We have a great site here, and everybody's been throwing down great scores. So again, going into another finals, it's just going to have to be another battle it out and get down the line as much as you can.
When you're partway down the run and you know you got to get all the way through clean, what are you thinking? I mean, are you looking just at the buoy and I got to get there?
You know, every buoy's different, so sometimes it can be that way, and sometimes it can be you're in the water. So you never know. It's always a different game out there, but this site and this venue is really great. We're really thankful to be here, and we hope to be here again next year.
You're acknowledged as one of the world's best. Does that ever play in your mind where, you know, I'm just skiing here. It's just another day in the afternoon.
You know, it's just another Sunday. We're all playing just like the NFL players out there.
All right, well, good luck in the final.
Thank you.
All right, Tad, we'll send it back to you. 2 quality skiers going into the final.
All right, well, thank you very much, Rick. You know, cool to see the interview with both those girls right there. We're going to get them back down on the dock and see what they have to put out on the water.
Did you hear that? That's spirit right there. That's people getting to see the best women's water skiers in the world, and they can't contain themselves. They just got to let it out. That's cool.
Very cool. All right, we got some more action on the tweeter from Sean Shorsky. First time in years he's not here. Thanks for the coverage. Loving the webcast. Thanks, Sean. Good to hear from you, buddy.
AKA Moose.
All right, so we've
Vancouver
got.
Island.
Well, I'll tell you what, Marcus. It's somewhat fitting. We've got the #1 ranked and #2 ranked women's water skiers in the world.
Kind of what we all might have expected, but we didn't really want to say it because you never know. It's anybody's day, really, at the set out.
All right. Looks like I believe we're going to go to. Is it Ches? Ches, where you at, buddy?
We're at the California Pro-Am with 4-time U.S. slalom champion, open champion, Karen Trulove. How'd it go for you, Karen?
It went great. I've had a really consistent weekend. You know, one of my goals was to get through 38 every round, and we had a lot of skiing. And you know, even when I was tired, I was able to get through it. So I'm really happy with the way things went.
Sounds good. It looks like your good Nano 1 performed pretty well for you consistently out there.
Yeah. When I come here, we were here last year, and for whatever reason, the site does ski a little bit different than what I'm used to, and you know, the ski just handled well. I had a couple of times where I got in a little bit deep, or I was a little bit behind, and I was just able to relax and get back in it. And I really feel like my ski performed, really well, and here this weekend.
Right on. Well, a little shout out for a couple little ones.
Yes. I just want to say hi to Dash and Ridge, my 5-year-old and 5-month-old, and they're at home with my mom, and just want to say hi to them. We really miss you guys.
Awesome, Karen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, we are back. Great interview with Karen. Great skiing from Karen right there. I think that's going to secure her a 3rd place finish with that final score, 2.5 at 39. Unofficial, of course. For those of you out there, first time watching, you never really want to trust announcer math. It's the last place you want to go, except for Marcus, because he's like a rocket scientist or something.
Actually, no, but thank you for the artificial vote of confidence. But you're right. You don't want to trust what we say with 100% accuracy, because we're out here telling you to go put the rope at 41 off at 34 miles an hour and try to swing it back and forth behind the boat.
Not safe.
But you are going to see, hopefully, some 41 off action in the course from the top 2 women's water skiers in the world here shortly. And it couldn't be any better, Tad. We've got no wind. The temperature's about 90, 95 degrees. I think we have Cancun beat in that department. And you know what? This is I don't want to be anywhere else. There's no place I'd rather be than here right now, hanging out, watching the best water skiers in the world.
You know, I'd have to agree with you 100%. You're looking, we almost have like a sheet of glass in front of us here with the lake. The wind is non-existent, as you said. We're lucky to be covered with some shade because it is rather warm out there right now. And yeah, we're going to watch, you know, the coolest sport, the best in the coolest sport in the world coming up here in just a second.
So what do we have for the men's matchup? We're going to have the top 8 after this in the quarterfinal, semifinal, and then the super final. Top 8 men in the world from qualifying yesterday, and that includes world record holder Nate Smith and a bunch of other great skiers, Terry Winter, local boys, Chris Rossi.
Yeah.
So what do we have going on now?
Well, right now we're going to head to Rick Stewart and see what he's got going on.
All right, thanks, Tad. I'm here with Willie Ellermeyer. And Willie, you stress technology in your company name. Tell me how technology nowadays affects the skiers.
Nowadays, technology has to go into the hydrodynamic elements of water skiing, because in terms of materials, form, and construction, I think the ski is maximized. And in today's environment where skiers ski extreme short lines, that they're physically capable of doing, the material is not up to the degree that they can ski it at this point. Therefore, we develop the ski industry from a hydrodynamic point of development.
Now, this is a lot of technology that's born out of you being a skier yourself, correct?
I've been a professional skier until 1975, started my ski schools, and I have a background in mathematics and physics.
Okay, your company, Raptor Water Skis, you're worldwide, and you do the whole circuit of the water skiing to support them.
The Raptor Water Ski is a new company with new technology, and we intend to, of course, get big in the industry. And at the present time, we have Terry Winter under contract, who's arguably one of the best water skiers in the world, and you will see him in the finals today.
Alrighty, Willie Ellermeyer as one of our major sponsors here at the California Water Ski Pro-Am. Back to you, Tad.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rick, for checking out one of our sponsors here this weekend, Raptor. And Marcus, while that was going on, we had our boat do a simulation pass so that everybody's conditions are quote-unquote the same. It went down the lake, it's going to come right back. And I think we're going to get our skiers hooked right up to the boat. Looks like from the monitor that Whitney's going to be behind the Mastercraft Pro Star. So that means Regina would be behind the Nautique. So I'm not sure yet, but I believe Whitney might be going out first. Leads me to believe Regina maybe picked the boat.
I don't know. Did Regina have the pick? Is she the higher seed?
Regina's the higher seed, yeah.
She must have.
The end of this, can you wrap it up? So you see the end of it, and then we'll stop.
Or what I think may have actually happened is Regina wants Whitney to go out and show her that she can beat her. And a lot of times that's strategy again, because Regina is saying, hey, I'm going to sit back and watch, and I want you to go out and put up a score that I'm going to have to chase. And sometimes that works in your favor as the higher seed, because the person that goes out first gets bound up, gets timid, skis differently. It changes their whole game plan, and it can change the way they ski and their ultimately their score.
Oh, yeah, you're 100% correct. I've seen it work always here with the strategy of going out first, going out second, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll see if Regina's strategy pays off, if in fact that's what she chose. But I believe Whitney's going to go out first, from what I've heard, and I'll confirm that with our officials here in a second. Regina should be going out second. And, well, one thing's for sure, Marcus, we're going to have ourselves a champion here in probably about 10 to 15 minutes.
Yes. So if you want to take a break real quick, go to the bathroom, grab a drink. Now's the time, because in about 30 seconds we are going to start with the super final. Whitney McClintock versus Regina Jaquess.
Less than that, because Whitney McClintock on the water, I believe it's 32 feet off of that 75-foot line. And here we go, super final, ladies and gentlemen, California Pro-Am 2014. Check out Whitney McClintock on the water. looking strong. You know, she just had that huge performance of 2 at 41. And, you know, matching that would be a pretty solid deal for her. If she could do that, that'd be a tall order for Regina to follow up. Not say, you know, she is more than capable. Of course, both these girls have been in the 41 multiple times this weekend. As we see our replay here with Whitney at 32, not an issue, just kind of a textbook pass for her.
But Tad, to do that, to get to 41 off, there's about 3 more passes these girls are gonna have to run. So sometimes if you get the cart before the horse, that's when things go wrong.
I like to put the cart before the horse.
Well, you're a special breed. So what we'd like to see is we want to see these girls really solid and really comfortable on their warm-up passes, and then we know that they're ready, they're hot, and they're going to strike at 39 and 41.
All right, well, we are going to get Regina into the course here in just a moment. And again, following our women, we'll have a short break here to get some officials changed out, and then we will move on to our men. Of course, this morning we had our Masters Men's Champions runoffs, and congrats to Jeremy Newby Ricci, who took that title. Yesterday we had our amateur head-to-head finals, and congrats to Mrs. Bishop, who I believe took that AM title. But right now, pro women on the water. Regina Jaquist, Team Good skier out there, 32 off. Got some screams going around. I think got the crowd wet on the other side of the lake a little bit around that 4-ball. Some Regina fans cheering her on as she gets through 32. Not a problem. And as always, hit us up on the Twitter at Waterski Pro-Am, just like Mr. Harvey Dyson just did. Good luck to the Brits and Freddie. Great to watch a webcast from the UK. Such a tense competition. So,
did you call it the Twitter?
The tweeter.
The Twitter. I mean, how many nicknames, acronyms do you have for this?
I mean, I could do a lot more, but they may not be good for television.
Yeah, true that. But you know what? Regardless, it's great because it connects people all around the world with you right there in your hot seat with a microphone in your hand.
That's right. I got another one coming in right now from Richard Crossland. Looking forward to seeing our main man, Will, on the water. Wish him well from all the Brits watching in the UK.
Wow. What time is it over there? Is it midnight over there? What are they doing up still? I guess they're dedicated. Those Brits are dedicated.
I mean, they got 2 horses in the race here.
Very true. Very true.
All right. Well, I see the Mastercraft rounding the island at the end of the lake. And Mark's got a little bit of a slight wind picking up here. I don't know if it's really much to talk about, but we'll see if it affects our skiers. 35 off right now for Whitney McClintock as she comes in. Solid turn, around 2 over to 3. Around 4, Whitney, you know, not a problem. I mean, that's it. For those of you in Sacramento who have never seen professional slalom skiing, these 2 ladies are ones to watch for sure.
Yeah, these are the hottest girls out there right now on the water, and they're making it look easy for you. We're going to have Regina come back and try to match that at 35 off. And again, folks, these girls are accelerating. They're rounding 6 buoys. They're accelerating from 30 plus or minus miles an hour all the way up to 60, 65 miles an hour in about 0.8 seconds. That's from 30 to 60. Can you imagine going from 0 to 35 miles an hour in less than a second? That's the kind of acceleration we're talking about.
I mean, is there a car that, I mean, I'm sure there's maybe a NASCAR or a Indy car that could.
Dude, that's
F1.
quick though.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's a big acceleration, and this is all literally the force. I mean, there's G-force out there these skiers are creating on the rope, on the boat, on themselves.
On their bodies.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we got Regina coming in here at 35 off as well. I got a cool tweet to read to you here in just a second, Marcus, after Regina's pass from one of our competitors this weekend. So we'll get to that here in a sec as we see Regina. And you know, Marcus, you've studied water skiing. You know, you're a professional water skier. You've been one of the best. You've studied it. You've helped design boats, helped design skis. What are your thoughts? I mean, how much G-force are these skiers putting on their body, on their skis, on the rope?
You know, it depends. Like we talked about earlier, you see Regina there rounding all 6. If the better you are, the better you perform, whether it's water skiing or it's wakeboarding or it's, I don't know, football, the better you perform, the less force is on your body.
Okay.
But like you see here at 35 off for Regina, and as the rope gets shorter for both these women, there's sloppiness. You don't ski perfect. And when you don't ski perfect, you have higher forces on your body, higher loads, higher G's. And I'm talking, there's like 2,000 pounds of force sometimes on the handle, which is then transferred all the way through these skiers' bodies at the buoy. And that's an instantaneous load, an impulse load we call it, of 1,500 to 2,000 pounds. And that's a lot. That's 1 ton impulse, like snap load, all of a sudden out of the buoy. And these girls hang on to that. So you imagine the amount of acceleration you get from hanging on to 2,000 pounds of load pulling you down the lake. That's a big load. That's a big force. And no wonder these these girls are the best in the world, because not very many people can do that.
All right, well, here
Don't
we
laugh
go.
at me. I can't talk right now. I can't use the right words. Can't put them together.
We got Whitney McClintock, 38 off. You know, both these young ladies have made this pass look easy so far today and yesterday, but we've also seen some girls go down, so we'll see. Big turn for Whitney at 1, coming out at 2, not an issue at 2, over to 3, little tiny tip rise, but doesn't seem to really cause her any trouble as she gets to 5, and Whitney, not a problem, rounds all 6 buoys there. Marcus, a solid skiing for Whitney. Back to the tweets we got coming in from one of our competitors, in fact, our Masters men, or senior men, if you want to call him competitor, winner this morning, Jeremy Newby Ricci. Wow, I get to ski against legend Chris LaPointe, then offered congrats from Bob LaPointe. The 11-year-old in me who asked them for their autographs at the 81 Worlds. How cool is that?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
You have a dude from England all the way, comes over. He's battled back injuries like I have, like Nicole Arthur, and he himself is now back battling and winning, the best 35-plus skiers in the world, beating his idols, and my idols, our idols. That
The
he used,
California boys.
Yeah, Bob and Chris, Chris LaPointe, and it's pretty amazing, pretty amazing.
Very cool.
That's what's cool about water skiing. You got the best in the world, past, present, future, all hanging out together, sharing ideas, sharing laughs. This is a great place to be right now.
All right, we got some more tweets coming in. Mark Austin from South Africa tweeting in again. Thanks for the webcast. That way, no bad South African TV. Too much gator wrestling and Pawn Stars. All right, here we go. Mark, we got some good action for you on the water right now. Regina Jaquist is out there at 38 off. Ooh, slam and turn at 3-ball, whipping that ski around over to 4, around 5, and Regina all 6. So you know, she told Whitney, throw it down, put something out there. I'm gonna top you. Just keeping it going right there. Both ladies through 38. We're gonna have a battle in the 39 off.
You know, we talked a little bit about what it takes, the mindset it takes to be an elite level athlete, and not just a skier, but athlete. And I used to, we did the World University tournaments back in the early 2000s, and I skied on a team with Regina. And I remember we were in China, and she was just starting to break onto the pro scene then. And we talked about what it takes to be a world champion. And her thought, her train of thinking summed into one word was just do it. Just believe that you can do it. And I've seen her over the years go from being a 3-eventer to now being the elite slalom skier, the slalom skier to beat the best women's slalom skier in the history of water skiing. And I think it's a testament to the human spirit and the ability to think your way into whatever you believe you can do. And she believed she could do it, and now she's out here doing it, and Whitney's trying to catch her right now. 39.5 off.
All right, here you go. 39. She ran it once today already. Whitney McClintock from Canada. Let's check out the start right there. Big turn at 1-ball. Over to 2. Little bit of trouble out of 2. She's coming in hot to 3, but she's fighting, and she's fighting hard, Marcus. Around 4.
Needs a big 5.
Oh, my.
She got it.
Over to 5. Gutsy pass. Scrapper of a pass right there for Whitney. Decent start for her, Marcus. You see the fist in the air. She's pumped. Let's check out the replay, see where she gets into trouble, and then see herself just fight all the way through it.
She's a true fighter. You see a great 1-ball here. She had a great turn at 2, and then you'll watch Tad coming up here at 3-ball. She got deep and she got almost pulled out, and she's so strong right there.
Yeah.
And she hung on to it. Her hips got behind her, and somehow she was able to turn forward, gain her composure, and she knew that Regina was behind her. And this is not what Regina wanted when Whitney went out first, but this is what she's going to have to deal with. And Regina knows it now. She's going to have to go out and run 39.5 off.
Yeah, you know, it'd be interesting to find out what Regina chose, which way she chose that. You know, if she did in fact choose to go out second, you know, and let Whitney beat her, and surely she wasn't, you know, maybe she was saying, you know what, Whitney, run 39, get into 41, and I'll still top you. I don't know. Regina's looked awful strong this weekend, but Whitney, that's 2 in a row, just, you know, know, killing it.
That's the best of the best. It doesn't get any better than that for the top women in the world. And we're going to see Regina right now. This is 39.5 off. The rope is 2 feet short of reaching the buoy. She has to run this, or Whitney is the new California Pro-Am champion.
All right, well, Regina around 1, over to 2, looking strong at 2. Wow.
Wow, this looks
coming
easy.
in hot to 3. She's got to keep her head, though, Marcus. You can go down
oh my gosh.
around 5, and
that looks so easy. That looks
easy.
so easy.
It's just laughable at some point. Like,
that
what is going on?
That looked like they forgot to make the rope shorter. I mean, literally, that does not look like 39.5 off. You see her on the replay.
She's got a tight line out of every turn.
Every
the ski
buoy.
keeps moving. You know, there's a little tick-tock here. We could be real picky if we wanted to, but you don't have much to choose from on this pass.
No, she ran that almost flawlessly. And when you factor in the knowledge that she had to run that, she knew she had to run that to continue skiing and to have a chance at the title, that makes it that much more impressive that she goes out and runs it with that kind of composure and that kind of ease.
Yeah, you know, as much as the athletic skill is out there, but to think about, you know, her mental state and how she can keep her cool and not get nervous. And, you know, you've been in situations, you know, what are you thinking? You know you've got to run one of the toughest passes that you're able to run, yes, but just in your head, you know you have to do it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. How do you contain yourself?
You got to be the best, and you got to know how to do. You got to know how to contain yourself, and especially here at 41 off.
Yeah.
You have. We didn't talk about it, but this is a left foot forward skier. Whitney's a left foot forward. Regina's a right. Whitney has an advantage potentially at buoy number 1 to get a good start. Here we go, 41 off.
All right, Whitney into the course at 41 off. Around 1. Oh my! And it got a little bit deep, Marcus.
Well, and like we just talked about, you see her on the replay. This is her strong side, being a left foot forward skier. You see her coming into 1. She knew she had to get a good start here, and she maybe tried to get too good of a start. You see the whole ski go underwater right there, Tad.
Yeah.
That's not normal. That shows you how hard she was trying because she knew Regina was pushing hard from behind. So Regina, being a right foot forward skier, may not always get the best 1 ball, but now all she has to do is kind of stand up at 1.
And, you know, potentially,
for the title.
If we're guessing what may be going through Whitney's head when she's coming in the course, she's saying, well, 1 ball's not going to do it. I've got to get more than 1, potentially got to get more than 2. After watching Regina, she got a 1.5 yesterday, so she went for broke. I mean, she went for all 4, and you got to applaud her for that.
You do. She didn't go out and lay up and try to take it easy at 1 to make Regina try to get more than 2. She actually knew she could get full 2. She did it about half hour ago.
Yeah.
So she's very confident in her ability to go out and put the pressure on Regina. Unfortunately, like we talked about, this sport is do or die, sudden death. And when you go out and you push the envelope at this short line, like sometimes it doesn't work out how you want it to. So we're going to have Regina come back in at 41 off. She knows she's got to get a full buoy.
We mentioned Whitney, a half a buoy. Real quick, what happens if you get your ski around the buoy and you start headed the other direction, yet don't make it to the wakes? That's a half a buoy. Regina needs a full buoy. She needs to get her ski around 1 ball and skiing position through the wakes. Here we go. Regina Jake was 41 off, over to 1 ball, gets around 1, and can she get back? Yes, she can. That's all she needed, Marcus. Great, strategy, potentially, if that's what she chose, paid off. She is your champ. Regina Jake was 2014 California Pro-Am champ, and solid skiing all weekend. And, you know, we thought it might come down to Regina and Whit. It came down to Regina and Whit, and they came through in flying colors with a great show.
You know, it's very interesting. That's unbelievable skiing, but I feel like going out first sometimes might be disadvantaged because both these girls can run 39, and at 41 off, you saw Whitney. She knew that Regina was behind her, so what did she do? She may have pushed it too far, but kudos to Regina for going out, skiing solid all weekend, and being the California Pro-Am champion here in 2014, Tad.
Alrighty, Marcus, we are going to take a short break before our men's competition, but right now I believe we have your runner-up, Whitney McClintock. Who we got with Whitney?
Here we are at the California Pro-Am with Whitney McClintock. The bar has just gone through the roof, running 38s, 39s, 38s. How do you do it?
This was such an exciting event, and we've been waiting for the day where both Regina and I run 39 in a tournament, and it just happened. And I was so excited when I did it because I knew that Regina could, and it was going to be a day that went down in the record books because it's never been done. For the finals of a women's competition to come really down to 41 off, it's it means that our sport is being taken to the new level. April Coble ran 39 a couple of weeks ago. She wasn't able to make it out here this weekend, but just shows that the level really is going up.
Right on. And then you're with that new Radar Vapor, Nautique. I mean, that ski looks like it's treating you pretty well.
I love this ski. 2015 comes out with a new color, so I'm still riding my old ski, but I love it. I mean, they've adjusted to make sure that the ski stays in the water a little better through the turns. Couldn't ask for to have a better boat sponsoring me. Obviously, in the round before the finals, I ran 2 at 41, tied my PB behind the Nautique. In the finals, Regina opted to have the Nautique, so good for her. I mean, it really is such an awesome boat.
Right on. Well, we appreciate you being here and always supporting the sport and awesome skiing. And we look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you. Back to you guys.
All right, great seeing that action on the water. Marcus, again, we're here at the 2014 California Pro-Am. Always awesome to have you sitting next to me. Not as awesome than to see you on the water, so as much as I love talking with you, next time hopefully I'll see you out there competing, get the back a little bit better. And, you know, thank you very much. I'm glad to have you here.
Tad, I'm stoked to be here. It's been an honor to be able to sit in the hot seat next to you to talk about the best skiers in the world. And I think you're going to get Mr. Freddy Krueger, the Nightmare.
That's right. I think the Nightmare's going to come up, talk a little men's slalom with us. I know you got some things to do.
Just a quick fun fact. This guy has the world record right now in jump, 250 feet. That's 83 yards.
Almost,
if my math, almost 83 yards in the air, landing on a flat water surface. That's unbelievable. So you're going to get the pleasure of hanging out with Mr. Freddy Krueger. Thank you, Tad. Been a pleasure.
You got it, man. Now we are going to take a short commercial break here. Should be back in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. Stick around. Access Sacramento live webcast 2014 California Pro-Am. We'll be back here in just a few moments.